Fighting crime in our society, but in the process of fighting crime, you must not commit crime in that process. So it's very, very important that we begin to look at our security agencies, law enforcement agencies, how they carry about their responsibilities, their official duties, and of course, how the people can also cooperate with them and create some kind of synergy to create a peaceful and harmonious atmosphere in the society. Well, a lot of activities has been going on. Have been going on social media right now. Hashtag #EndSARS. That is what a lot of people have been talking about now. People having a kind of recall of very, very sorry, unfortunate, gory, sometimes unpalatable, graphic pictures and experience they've had with men of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, codenamed SAS, or in short SAS. Some have actually made very, very disturbing confessions, disturbing statements as regards their encounter with the police. Some have actually dropped videos, some have posted pictures. It's already gathering momentum because celebrities in quotes are now joining in this #EndSARS movement. Aghemerio, I'm sure you have also seen a lot about it. It's been very, very disturbing, some of the experiences that some have recounted.
Definitely. I've seen quite of some, but then we've been also been having the police high command responding to that different accusations and then counter accusations there from different places and different angles from different persons, from groups, from individuals. Now, the police high command has responded to the ongoing social media campaign calling on it to scrap its special anti-robbery squad unit, rather, saying that it has no intention towards that. And now, contrary to claims of wrongdoings against the SARS by those it referred to as criminals, the anti-robbery unit has done a lot in sanitizing the country. That is according to the police high command. And now, let me just quote him. He actually says that um, anybody calling for scrapping of SARS is an armed robber. Let him come forward so that they can investigate him. All right, that is according to the police high command. And truly, it's been a whole lot on social media.
Mhm.
We've seen videos actually of some things we've
Police brutality.
yes, and we've seen people coming out talking about recounting their experiences,
Yes.
and some were able to pick some videos like things like that, on and on. But then I would also want to ask: is scrapping SARS
The solution.
the solution?
Very, very, very salient question.
Is SARS not doing what they should do when it comes to nabbing criminals
Criminals,
and
especially armed
and
robbers.
robbers, for that matter? I
Mm.
think is that unit not performing its duty when it comes to that?
Well, now we can then move to the other angle of okay, are they going to the extreme in carrying out their lawful duties? Are they fighting those who they are not supposed to be fighting? Or do they need training and retraining? That could be. Or is it that many of them are also not conversant with the Criminal Justice Act?
Or maybe there is something they are saying that we are not saying,
That we are not saying, or maybe they have a third eye that just makes them know that someone is a criminal, whether he has good intentions or bad intentions. Because I've also heard or read in situations whereby once you have a tattoo, then you are a criminal, an armed robber to a SAS operative. Or once you have a dyed hair, or you're putting on earrings and all, what this boils down to also being looking responsible, also doing that. But we cannot all be the same. Some would sag, So many youth will do that a lot today. Some will sag, some will put on earrings and all that. And so the list goes on. We've been trying to get in touch with the Lagos State Command Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force, Dolapo Badmus. I think she's a bit busy. Hopefully we'll get in touch once again and she'll be part of the discussion. And in the meantime, we have in the studio a youth. Uh, I'm talking of Comrade Prince Adeleke Adebajo, who is the State Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter. Uh, Prince, you're welcome to the Daybreak Show, Rock City FM.
Thank you very much, our listeners. Good morning.
All right, straight to it, Prince. A lot has been said about the activities of the Nigerian Police Force, the special unit called SAS, Special Anti-Robbery Squad. No doubt they've done a lot in foreign robbery and, of course, on nabbing kingpins when it comes to robbery and kidnapping. Uh, Excesses have been noticed. Is it enough for Nigerians to call for the scrap of SAS?
Well, thank you very much. For me, as a youth, as a person, calling for the scrap of SARS will not be the right thing to do. But at the same time, you can't blame those who are calling for it. Because once you're a victim, you feel like, what is the need? What is the importance of this side? Instead of them bringing justice, they will actually inflict more injury to people. But at the same time, you can't throw away the baby with the bathing water. The excesses of SARS, we can't overemphasize it. Is there a lot of brutality? The way they even operate very cruel in this modern day. You can imagine someone just look at you and say you look like a criminal, and that's all. You start to search you start to do a lot, and start to check your phones, check your bag, and a lot of things. For me, we cannot actually say we need to scrap them, but we need to curtail their excesses. They need to be trained. They need to know that they are dealing with a civil society and there's a law. And when there's a law, there's a way you go by it. Maybe they should know that we're in 21st century. They go through technology, not this normal hold, and just look at someone and say, yes, this person must be a criminal.
And begin to
harass. Yeah, no, that is not
even beat.
That is not the way. And the funny thing, I personally have also have an experience. Let me tell you. That was the time they said one of our youth had been arrested by the SARS. We went to Magmo. And what we got there, actually, when you get someone arrested, when we got there, I was trying to make inquiry. First, in this time that kidnapping is order of the day, you can't be sure. Someone just got arrested and they said it's SARS, all the way from Milano to Abekuta. And I got there just to make inquiry. Is this guy in your custody? At least we can be sure that he's with you, then we can now know. If you see the way we were addressed, you'll be shocked. That for you just to make inquiry and say, is this guy here? And that's all. And the way those guys address you, like nobody can actually talk to them. For me, the excesses is so much. Like, let's be honest, the way they treat people is so much. And again, what are they actually looking after? They are special anti-robbery squad. For God's sake, what they are after now, go and check. We have good one among them, but at least larger percentage of them, they only go after Yahoo boss.
Internet fraudsters.
Yes. And they go, and you know what?
Why do you think they do this?
Yeah, because of what they will get. And they are the ones that actually encourage these people. For me, I tell you, the youth, we should not even go, because we go to that part. But for them,
I'm sorry, before you said because of what they want to get.
Yeah,
what exactly
it is money. Let me tell you, once they get them, even I'll be very happy when you get internet fraudster and you now prosecute them to discourage others. But rather, they encourage them, because when they get them, they share money with them. They collect the money, and that's why if you go everywhere, everybody knows the story in town, and they want to collect their money. And the guy, immediately you release that money, he's going to look for a way of getting another one again. So invariably, what they do is they are creating more internet fraudsters instead of popping them, and that's what they're after. That's when they look at you, that is the language. Yeah, Uber, internet fraudster, and that is where they are so much interested now. And that is not their core objective. Their core objective is actually to do what? To nab the criminal, what the regular police cannot do, because they are special. We believe they have more training than the regular police. They are trained in that criminality, in terms of determining who this criminal and be able to nab those criminals the regular police will not be able to nab. But that is not what they are doing. And for me also, in as much as I'm going to blame, I lay blame on SARS. But this is a society issue. Uh, is it Nigeria of today? What really happened? And the society has gone no more again. Everybody wants to do. Now we all celebrate, we all worship money. And that is the era we are in this country, and which is very bad. Even this internet fraudster, gone are those days when parents will look at their children and say, wait a minute, what are you doing? How can you get this car? What do you do for a living? But nowadays, that is not the case. A 19 years old boy that you know did not even finish secondary school, or perhaps after secondary school, not even pursue your education, you just come home with it
and bring a Toyota Venza.
And the parent will just say,
or even buy it for his mom.
Yes, and mom will say, oh, my child have arrived. Arrived from where? You can see what is happening. And that is one of the problems we are having. So the parents are not doing their job. The government, they are not doing their job. Even the civil society, all of us, we are not doing our job enough. And that is where we find ourselves in this situation.
Okay, let's take a moment once again and see if we can re-establish connection with Dolapo Badmus. He's the zonal public relations officer of the Nigerian Police Force. That's Lagos Zone 2. Zone 2 covers Lagos and Ogun State. Let's quickly try and re-establish connection with Dolapo Badmus. All right, so we now have SP Dolapo Badmus on the line as the Zonal Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police here. All right, SP, we are looking at the many complaints of Nigerians, especially the Nigerian youth, about the activities of your men, those who are in the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. What exactly do you have to say about this? I know that the IGP has ordered a restructuring and probe into the activities. But how do you react to the many stories and experiences that Nigerian youth have poured out ever since this campaign started?
Well, I saw a campaign of, I think you're talking about the NSAS campaign. And let me start by saying, well, you said my name. Police officers are not my men. They are Nigerian police force men. And at the same time, most of them are on SARS duty. We've had a lot of complaints. And when people come up with complaints to us, we've always cashed it out. At the same time, a lot of people go on social media to lodge their complaints. And I want to start with that police has provided a platform where each and everyone that feels aggrieved can make a complaint. But I think a lot of people don't want to use the platform. They prefer to go on social media and, relate their experience through social media. What is this going to do for us? It's not going to move us forward. I want to let you know, with all sense of modesty, that police organization is the only organization in Nigeria that punishes its men for wrongdoing, and it remains the top on the list. I try to be corrected, but I can prove it to you. If people make complaint through proper channels, they deal with the officers decisively. And these NSAS issues, it's not going to be as they are propagating it. Because let me state categorically that Special Anti-Robbery School is a creation of the Nigerian Police Force. And why was it created? Is to combat armed robbery. And that is what it's been doing. Although we are aware of people's complaints about their misbehavior, about how some of our men tend to go, extra mile in getting people oppressed. We are aware of all of this. But one certain thing I want to let you know is that if you report appropriately, we've been handling it appropriately. We've been punishing people. We've been reducing them in rank for wrongdoing. We've even been suspending people from duty. Or at the same time, we have also done our best to even dismiss policemen. This NSAS is a propaganda that I feel will not work. I think they should be talking about, okay, reform SARS. It's better than end SARS. End SARS will not work. Reform SARS might work long testing.
Now, we are not joining the campaign to end SARS, but that is the campaign going on social media. We are looking at it in the aspect of people who have talked about the excesses through the complaints of these people. You have also agreed that there are complaints. There are genuine reasons for reform. Is the Nigerian police force looking at that direction?
Well, I can categorically tell you that even internally, there have been a lot of reform going on. But you know, ours is an organization that we are service-oriented. We deliver service. So we don't, publicize all of that we do. There has been a lot of training and retraining. And I want to tell you categorically that if you go to Nigerian government-owned hospitals, what services do you have? If you go to any government-owned institution, what services do you have? So police is not, an exemption. I think police, in all sense of it, is a reflection of their own society. So if the whole country is going through reformation, police will have part of it too. The leadership of the force has also ordered the organization of SARS. You are aware of that. That is the right step, the right direction. And from time to time, we will continue on the job training, like we used to call it, the training and retraining. And at the end of the day, we will all be good for it. I implore members of the public to be patient with us, but at the same time, they should always use the normal channel of reporting the misbehavior of police officers, not going another way to report.
Now,
there are platforms that are created.
SP, I follow you. I follow your post on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, and even videos where you educate people about the rights of an average citizen. And you have actually said countless times that no Nigerian police officer has the right to seize your phone and begin to surf through it in a bit to check either your messages or your contact or whatever. Now, how come this has continued to be the trend among Nigerian police officers?
Well, like the president of Nigeria now, President Muhammadu Buhari, is fighting corruption. But do you feel that a lot of people are saying indulging in corruption? What does that suggest to you? That when you're young, there are still people that will not listen. You understand what I'm saying? And I will always refer people back to the book, the holy books. Even in the Bible, Jesus preached day in, day out. But we still see Judas that gave him away. Does it mean that Judas does not listen? Even Jesus said, somebody here will sell me. He has a premonition that somebody is going to sell him. But Judas still carry on and sold him. What does that suggest to you? That no matter how you preach it, there are some few people that will still want to do it their own way. But the good thing is that when police officers are being reported through appropriate channels, you can always get assurance that they will be dealt with.
But if you treat them with kid gloves, talking about these bad eggs, then the nation suffers. Are you not thinking about kicking them out?
Well, I've said it from onset. When I started talking with you, I told you that there is no organization that punishes erring officers like Nigerian police force. I am telling you categorically, this is what I know. We've been kicking people out, we've been reducing them in rank, and then we have also been suspending them. And then you see, like I told you, you will always have bad eggs everywhere. In journalism world, you will see bad eggs. In banking industry, you see baddest. In medical line, you see baddest. But when we continue, to continue to ensure that Nigerian police will take its place of right, we are working assiduously. Thank God you are following me on social media. I don't condone any form of indiscipline and any form of inattitude to any member of the public. If people tag me on anything, I take it off immediately. We will continue to do all of this. Like we senior officers cannot be indictment everywhere. But if they report them to us appropriately, we will look into it and deal with it decisively.
Now, does the AIG in charge of Zone 2 do a spot check on the zonal SARS office here in Abeokuta, because they are one of the divisions indicted in this excesses being talked about?
Well, you know that Ogun State has a commissioner of police, Lagos State has a commissioner of police, and these are top courts. And
Yes.
if it's beyond their power, the AIG can step in. AIG is a very big top court. But whenever I have an information, I always report it to the AIG. And the AIG mandates the CP to see to the end of that matter. So we are all working hand in hand to ensure that, things are being done appropriately and the way it should be done.
All right, thank you, SP Dolapo Badmus. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, Tobi.
All right.
Nice speaking with you.
Yeah, keep up the good work. All right, that's it. You heard the zonal PPRO, Lagos Zone 2. That's the zonal command in charge of Ogun and Lagos State. Well, that's a whole lot. I don't know what you have to say about that, Prince.
Well, I listen with rapt attention.
Okay.
In as much I want to agree with that perhaps they are doing some, I would like put, is this some punishing some of their hearing officers, but perhaps maybe they are not doing enough. Because if they are doing enough, it will reflect from the police officers on the street. In fact, you'll be surprised that some of them, when you talk to them, they will tell you, call IG if you like, call anybody. They don't care. It's like what they are doing, if they are doing at all, is not enough. Because once police know that there is a mechanism to actually discipline them, I'm sure everybody don't want to lose their job. They will sit tight. But you can go out. It's like they are not disturbed. So it shows that perhaps they are not doing enough. They need to do more. Especially the SARS, we see them every day. You see the way they operate. You sometimes you feel like, how can people operate this way? So what we're saying that they should take it as a matter of urgency. Is that when people start to complain, you must know that there's something so serious about it. And we're complaining seriously about SARS. For me, I am not saying we should end SARS. No, that is not the point. But there should be a serious, how will I put it, restructuring in that SARS organization or line, because the way they operate now is not the way they are supposed to operate. And if the police are telling us that they are doing much, they are doing whatever they are doing to curtail it, what we're saying is that they are not doing much. Because if they are doing more, we are the one. They should, you see, there's a way you test things. You can actually be in office and say things like that. But the way is that you must listen to people, because we interact with them day by day. When the PPRO is coming, I'm sure they want to act in a better way. And just for that second that woman will pass. But we that we're dealing with them every day, we can tell her the normal story, what the normal SARS do every day.
Now, what do you think about what she said about people taking to the social media instead of having to go to the proper places and lodge the complaint?
Yeah, at that point, she's very I need to also talk to ourselves, especially the youth. The social media is very good, but sometimes it doesn't solve the problem. It's just the same we were talking about election. You can see someone on social media who will do all this. It doesn't even have the common PVC. How does it solve? How does it add value to that? What we're saying that social media is very good, but beyond that, you must channel your complaint to the right authority, or else All of us just go on social media, we make noise, and at the end of the day, what will come out of it? A lot of things has gone on social media. At the end of the day, uh, over time, even we overtook it and we just forget about it. But what we're saying that in as much as the social media will help us, at least is another venue for people to know. In fact, if you just tweet now, you can see how many people will follow that tweet. But what we're saying beyond that, you must also, all these platforms that they have given us to lay our complaint, we must also follow that platform to make sure that, because I'm not sure police will just go on social media and pick and say that is, you can't even go to court and say because it's on social media and you win a case on it. No, you must follow the process. It's also part of what we also need to educate ourselves and say that beyond putting on social media, we must also document it. Follow some channels. They have some Facebook. They've given us. They have some phone number. They have some. So let us follow it until when we follow those channels and it's not working, we come back and say, wait a minute, you give us all this avenue, but they are not working. They are not working, and we need to also follow it and be okay.
All right. Okay, you wanted to say something?
Yes, and for me, beyond that, I'm also saying it. The police need to do it, and beyond the police, all of us must work together to actually end this. We must report it. And also, I could still remember when some of us are growing, like you have this, you'll be wondering now in society, you just see someone, it's not working. You know that when people are going out every day, it doesn't go out, it stays at home. You know in this community that this guy does not go out. What he does is he sits in. But in the evening, you see him live large. He show affluence. And nobody is bothering. Nobody bother about what is happening. And everybody just live like a normal life. And that is one of the problems we're having. We must come out to complain on all this. Is it?
You know what? That may not, because we have people who do the business from home actually, and some online businesses, legitimate businesses, and they don't have to go to report to any office in the morning. All they do is from their home. All right. So does that mean that anyone who's seeing the home or sit down at home, we should start suspecting such?
No, that is not the point. The point is that even when you do legitimate business, you know the way you spend your money. And we all know what is happening. You can't work hard to have that kind of money. You don't spend that money lavishly. We know even when you see them they do, you know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the society, not only the youth also, every society has failed in terms of even the parent, the government, the civil, every one of us, we need to sit tight. We need to come back and address this issue. The police, like we are saying, that they failed us because what we're expecting them to do, they are not doing it, and we're complaining now. So I'm just saying that in as much as we're blaming all the SARS, I personally I blame because I have one or two encounters about them, and it's not palatable.
All
It's
right,
not
now
good news.
there truly might be some lapses, shortcomings, okay, in the operations. No doubt about that. Okay, but then the way to go, should it be in SARS?
No, for me, capital no. We can't end SARS because when you end SARS, then you are only allowing you are bringing more problem to the society because the regular police, I tell you, their capacity, we all know it. When it comes to SARS, they have more capacity to deal with serious armed robber. And in the past, we have seen all those ones that have been arrested through the SARS. So what I say that we don't need to end SARS, and in as much as those people that put it on in answers, I wouldn't want to blame them. The way they feel at that point, when something happened, the way you feel initially, and over time, even happens in cases when you go to police station and report. But over time, when the case goes on, you feel like I don't need to follow this case. So that is what I say about this anchor. But what I'm saying is that instead of end SARS, we must restructure SARS. That is my own point about it.
Okay. Let us look at another angle. Earlier on, we talked about the fact that many of these officers themselves are not aware of the new trend in the review of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, which has clearly defined or reviewed the laws as regards arrest. Now, for instance, the ACGA Act, you cannot just arrest someone without informing the person his offense. You can also do that without a warrant. You cannot just deny the person a right to speaking with his lawyer. As a matter of fact, such person can keep quiet and not say anything until the lawyer is there. But the average Nigerian police would would batter you with his rifle if he's asking you a question and you refuse to speak, and you're saying, "Well, I won't say anything until my lawyer comes," because those are part of the right as enshrined in the ACGA. You have the right to remain silent until your lawyer is there to speak for you or to defend you. Now, when we look at this situation, the Nigerian police force are not aware of some of those things, and even if they are aware, they ignore. An average Nigerian youth is also not educated enough to know this right, and so he's abused. Uh, how do we bridge that gap?
Yeah, thank you very much. And for me, in Nigeria of today, where are the rights? Maybe perhaps for the rich and
The privilege.
the privileged. No, there is where the right is. Beyond, where are the right? Police want to arrest in Nigeria today, and you say where the warrant of arrest. Even the man does not even know he needs to come with warrant of arrest. The police officer will tell you, "Are you questioning me? Are you teaching me my job?" He doesn't even know. It shows that even our police, let's ask ourselves, when did they train them? Are they training them regularly? Some of them perhaps when they employ them, when they into the system, maybe that is all. So they need to train them. It shows that they are not training them. They are not even in tune with their own laws. So some of them, when you ask them or when you are pushing to them what they are supposed to do, they look at you and say, "What are you saying? Do you mean?" Because they don't even know. So and it's only a foolish man that will be arguing with a man with a gun. Because when it happens, they call it accidental discharge. So a lot of things has gone wrong in this country, especially the police. Because why the police do is that because they are supposed to be the one that when you see a policeman, you can be rest assured at least this man will protect my interests, will protect my right. But if the same policeman that will now deny you your right, then where are we going? So it shows that even the police officer on the road, let's ask them their own right. Did they get it from their commands? You call some police, they will tell you there's no fuel. They will tell you we are using our money to buy fuel inside the car. And you go to police station, you want to write a statement, they will say there's no paper. We use our money to buy paper. Do they even get their rights from their bosses? And so we need to look at it. It shows that even they themselves don't get their rights. And if they don't get their rights and you want to go and tell the man I have a right, from where? When he knows that he himself doesn't, they are supposed to be provided with papers in the police station. But no, do they have papers? You have to pay, even if you want to write. If you want to call them, you have to pay for fuel. They will tell you there's no fuel. So a lot of things has gone on. So it shows that even when you engage this police officer, the low rank, when you engage them and they want to tell you truly, you will pity them sometimes. It shows that even from top, the decay is there. So it's only that is why when you see those at the top have maybe because of the lighting where they had the society they mix with people they mix with, they tend to know. But the one on the street, perhaps that's why I used to say don't argue with a man with gun. Perhaps he's hungry. An hungry man is an angry man. So a lot of things has gone wrong. So we need to look at it holistically. And for me, as we are blaming them, because we need to continue to blame them because we employ them to do the right thing.
Job, yes.
Yeah. If they are not doing it, it's our right to do it. And today, the youth of Nigeria today, honestly, it's not the best time to come to this country. Because you imagine, what are we even enjoying as a youth? What right are we even enjoying? If you come to this way, you don't have any right. The police, you are not there. Even if you go to judiciary, where is your justice? Where is your justice? You can't get it. It's only people that are stolen, embezzled in billions that can get whatever they. So it shows that we don't have any right. We don't have it. So and the funniest part is that those that are the ends of affairs, they enjoy this right when they were like us. They enjoy this right when they were like us, and that is the irony of it. In fact, some of them, through their schooling period, scholarship, and even now, it is still the same public fund, you and I, that we're supposed to use, they're still using to run their family. So it shows that, you see, sometimes when I look at them, I said, why are we in this society like this? So that's why I always say that this society, if you look for every angle, the government, the private sector, the judiciary, whatever you want to say it.
There's rods in every sector.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have to go on a break now for the national news at 10. After the national news, we will come back and continue our discussion, complaints, and of course, so many excuses, excesses that have been noticed about the activities of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, is what we're looking at this morning. Is it enough for Nigerians to call for their scrapping, or is it enough for us to ask for a reform? Is that the best way to go about it? We will still have in the studio Comrade Adeleke Adebajo, that's the State Chairman of National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's still citizens from the Daybreak Show on Rock City 101.9 FM, the voice of the people. Today, the 6th Wednesday, December 2017. All right, what we're looking at this morning has to do with the issue of SARS and its operations. Nigerians have been complaining, recounting different experiences. Some have posted gory pictures, some unfortunate and sorry stories about their encounter with men of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Earlier on, we spoke with the Zonal PPRO of the Nigerian Police in charge of Zone 2, SP Dolapo Badmus. And she also attested to the fact that there will always be bad eggs. They've also received genuine complaints, and they are looking into the excesses of some of these men. And of course, she agreed that the Nigerian Police Force is one of the force that is security agency that is doing everything within its power to sanction and punish their men, those who actually err, and that can be proved. Well, she is of the opinion that the AIG in charge of Zone 2 is on top of the situation as regards complaints about the men of the Zonal Command of SARS here in Abeokuta. And of course, the Commissioner of Police and the AIG and all the Zonal Command are working together. And if there's anything that is a bit too much for the Commissioner of Police to handle, then the AIG can step in. But for now, there is no cause for alarm. Well, we have in the studio Comrade Adeleke Adebajo. He is the State Chairman of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter. All right, it's time for us to hand over the platform for you to make your own opinion known. Your questions can also be thrown at the guest in the studio. What is your own take? Is it enough for us to throw the baby with the bathwater and say, well, because they have so many officers of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad going about with excesses and going outside of their professional and responsibilities, professional duties and responsibilities, and stepping out of bounds, and then we should scrap SARS, as some are clamoring for it. All right, so you can call the studio lines 0809 868 7344, 0909 146 9670. You can also reach us via the short code 32120. All you have to do is to type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. You can also reach us on Twitter at Rock City FM is our Twitter handle. And on Facebook, our fan page remains Rock City FM 101.9.
We start to pick calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Aghemerio, Mr. Tobi. Hello.
We can hear you. Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Big Daddy. First and foremost, Mr. Tobi, I could have charged you. The gentleman in that seat not supposed to be in that seat. We're supposed to look for maybe PPRO of Ogun State or somebody that can be able to defend them.
When did you join? When did you join the show, Big Daddy?
Hello?
When did you join the show?
I didn't hear you.
When did you join the show?
No, from what you have been saying is saying in favor of the masses.
Well, Big Daddy, we spoke with the zonal PPRO.
No, really, I understand the person you spoke with. But I don't want people that will be giving us immediately answer or to what we ask. So I'm following it. So I want you to understand today, Mr. Tobi.
Yes.
If you want to know what about this mass, just follow the masses at the back. Let them walk down to the Magoya. If they are looking for their loved one, maybe they are there. They will not even allow the person to confirm if it is there. Rather, they will be telling him to bring 10,000 or 20,000 before confirming. If they are bringing an office outside for someone to find out if their loved one is there, you could have known what I'm talking about. You see, these people, they only just doing human being and bullets like sheep. The word never exists. And maybe this person that made this case to rise now is the person that belongs to Nigeria. We have found out that masses are not belongs to Nigeria, they're rubbish people. When you just go here, before you see anybody, they will tell you about money. They said bail is free, but not in SARS. You never paid person below 100,000 naira before. We have paid somebody with more than 300, including lawyer that is involved. So what I'm only telling you, these people today, when you're trying to scrap them, not they will send them away. The immunity that covers them should be reduced. Because those people, they only just be doing as if we are not a Nigerian. I've never told I'm a victim, but I've witnessed one. So make them do so, for them to do something to make sure that they are working something in favor of Nigeria, not in favor of a personal somebody. They will use that their uniform to victimize people. Let me stop here. Have a nice day.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Different strokes for different folks.
Hello. 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 Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, the suspect.
Good morning, sir.
Let me correct you that you cannot select for presenters who to call to TV. That's not our own business. Now, having said that, you call these people SAS, special. Find that word, special. Anti-Robbery squad, special anti-robbery.
You are here to tell us your name, sir.
Hello?
You are here to tell our guest your name.
Taiwan, somebody from Tapcon.
All right, thank you for calling.
Yes. They are not ordinary police. They have their excesses. Let me tell you. It is we people that make them what they are. Ordinary quarrel at home, they go to SARS. Other misunderstanding, honestly misunderstanding the two, they go to SARS. Look at the case of one murder case at Imoso there, where his stepfather killed the daughter. That's not a case for SARS. It's a case for the police. It's a case of murder. But they go there maybe because they style of doing their work, they harass people, they batter people, they treat people as if they are not human beings. Whenever you get there, even the person that the complainant and the accused, they don't leave that place without putting that money. They tell them you have to pay. Even bail is not free there. So you say bail is not free there. Well, let us define. Let's define their role. What is their role and their function? This is what was the structure. Define their role, define their function. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Prince Ojo, speaking from Kishu here in Abeokuta. SARS have outlived their usefulness. The main purpose or reason for creating SARS is known and it's reasonable. But what they have turned themselves to is really uncalled for. Police are supposed to be friends of innocent and law-abiding Nigerians. But now the reverse is the case. Though the Inspector General of Police has promised to reform the group, I only wish him good luck. That's my take. Good morning.
All right, good morning.
Hello. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Aghemerio.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
My name is Dr. Unkom. I'm
Thank,
calling from Ashura Estate.
thank you for calling.
Then I'm making, Tobi, I'm making some categorical statements now. Anybody, any group, against SARS, who wants SARS scrapped, are criminals, people with criminal intentions, people, rogues, and miscreants in the society. I have no apologies on that. The people who don't want things to be done well. When you dress like a thief, you should be treated like a thief. When you talk like a thief, you should be treated like a thief. Most of our young men are dressing like rogues, thieves, and think that is fashion. And they have to be corrected. SARS didn't drop from heaven. We wanted law and order in this society. They won't go out of their way to harass you. So when people talk of police brutality, I ask myself a question. What do you call police brutality? Tobi, if you stop me on the road safety trace, where's your particulars, sir? This is my particulars. Come down, I come down. Spare tire. Let me see a fire extinguisher. Let me see this one. You do this one. How would they brutalize me? If they tell me stop and I stop, how would they brutalize me? But in checkpoints, you see people, these young men, driving at speed. When they tell them to stop, if they brutalize that one, you say brutality. What is brutality? They don't brutalize anybody who is not doing the right, who is doing the right thing. We are exaggerating this thing. We are so used to indecent thing. We are so used to so-called freedom. There is no freedom anywhere in the world. Freedom is within the limits of the law. We believe we can do anything we like because we are Jews. That is why they are covering those excesses and we are complaining. There's no brutality. Stay on your lane. They will not touch you. It is when you go out of syntax, that is when they will get after you. And they have a right to use any force because they're special force. If you deserve it, it's not everybody they beat. But if you deserve it, I'm sorry to say this one, you need to be beaten to put in order. So people should stop condemning SARS. It's criminals who want SARS scrapped. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you for your contribution. Let's take maybe two more calls and then we allow our guests to react. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
From
All right, thank you.
I personally, I want this to start. If you are once a victim, or maybe you see them operating, know that they do sometimes they do go wrong. See, like the one they came to Shagaya, they came to arrest someone, and on the protest, they shot one pregnant woman dead. We didn't hear about the case anymore. Put it this way. Now, if you see them in action, you just turn, they will start shooting anyhow. If you see anybody with any big car, they will say maybe you are one of these Yahoo boys. You have to go investigate thoroughly. If I tell you what is going on here in my boy, you tell me, how can I pack it up? You see? But if the police officer has spoken, I pray for them. Maybe they can have something to do. Maybe a kind of orientation. Thank you. That's my solution.
Thank you.
All right, let's start around with the calls. Okay,
Let's
we
pick this one.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Aghemerio.
Good morning.
Tobi, good morning. No, I'm Kyle from Abeokuta.
All right.
I'm speaking outside Abeokuta anyway. Let me say this. People who are saying we should discard SARS or confiscate the SARS, I won't say they are robbers, but I will join our people to refine the skill of the SARS as the IGP has probably put that order for. So if we say we must abandon SARS, it means people are probably being correct because of the antecedents or unprofessional conduct of the people we call SARS due to harassment, seeing them taking your phone or taking your post as we just like that. Intimidation is there. Going to withdraw, asking you to go and withdraw from ATM. These are the things people are talking about. Non-conformity with universal tag of wearing names and then their phone number tags are so important. These are the things people are seeing. Wise approach to issues of young or old or whatever. These are the things people are seeing and asking for the scrape off of the SARS. But I wouldn't want people to say that they should scrape them off entirely like that, but rather to ask them that they must refine their skill, retrain them, send them to schools or conferences and seminars where they lack professionality, and then they will come back to become decorum, and then probably not compromise the liberty of the people they're supposed to serve or probably to protect. If you remember the tweet that was sent on so viral now about a particular case of a woman or two ladies going from Ife to Ilorin or so, you will found out that they misuse the opportunity of weapons to harass and intimidate those ladies. One of them was banged on the head. Another was probably asked to off a pants, probably they dressed her down or something like that. But it's so unfortunate that we are aware today because of leadership that is probably not knowing what they're supposed to do. We don't have true leaders at all any longer in Nigeria. And we voted for change, but we have not been able to.
All right, you may begin to wrap up.
Looking for. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so let's have your take, Prince Adebajo.
Yeah, thank you very much. Very interesting. We have seen people that actually wanted to scrap, and we have seen people who have said we should not scrap. But for me, I think I will go along with Mr. Kayode. For me, we don't need to scrap SARS, but we need to reform it. There are a lot of excesses that need to become. My that someone has said, I said, I've been to that place, and I can tell you the way they will treat you there, and it's true. Like even before you see your person, you have to pay, and those are the areas we said reform should come in. Even the addressing, sometimes you need to know their name tags and all those things, but we need to reform them, but we don't need to scrap them. That is my point. We need to reform SARS. We need to let them know that they must operate within the ambit of the law. They cannot be above the law. They must operate within the ambit of the law, and they must also respect the right of the youth and everybody within the society. So we don't need to scrap them. But for us to say people that are even clamoring that they should scrap them are also unrobber, no, because sometimes it depends on the level or probably what you have experienced. And so what we all of us need to do is, like I said, parents too, we need to work. Our government, like I said, they need to be on top of the game. We don't have. What about this one we're saying? You're saying boys, the way they dress. For me, I'm also a youth, I'm a young person, but I will never succumb or also support internet fraudsters. It's not possible. How can you be, and you said that is the order of the day? No, we must tell ourselves the truth. If you are doing that and maybe they not got you and you are saying SARS is not good, why would they be good to you? Why must also defraud people? So why must I unnecessarily dress like a? I will just there like when you see me, someone will tell me, even within hot weather, you want to dress like someone that is in the cold weather overseas. So there's a way we need to look at it. We need to also cop our own excesses within the society, and then also look at what SARS need to do. So for me, to cap it up, the police hierarchy must not this one IG just come and say the commissioner. No, even for that you will know that there is even it's bigger picture to tell you that there is a problem with SARS. Now if now the commissioner should come in to edit, so it means that initially have been issue the structure of SARS, that there is something fundamental that is wrong with that structure. So beyond that structure, they need to be trained. They need to also be educated that they cannot operate in isolation. They must operate within the ambit of the law, and they must also respect people's rights. But they don't need to be scrapped.
All right, let's quickly add the short code messages. And of course the tweet. IK from Info says, what is the difference between the so-called SARS and the armed robbers? And for me, I see no difference because they look alike. They do the same job. SARS was established to protect lives and properties, but unfortunately they turn themselves against the people, intimidate, harass, and even punish innocent citizens. So what are we talking about? They even follow you to the ATM and withdraw a huge amount of money in your account. That's IK from E4 sending in that message. Though the excesses of SARS are too much, but if not for the interventions in town, the oppression of the so-called Yahoo boys on a common man on the street would be like the hardworking guy should not breathe anymore. Let's go by the IGP's instruction on restructuring of SARS, and they should continue their job. Tunji from Abeokuta sent in that one. Keep sending your messages to 32120. Type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120.
We quickly go to take some of the tweets we got here. Yonashi Olanri tweeted, every guy out there is not an internet fraudster, but some guys out there are working class still harassed by SARS on daily basis. And we got this one from Yonashi Olanri still. Alright, this came from Laria DME. Tobi, SARS are needed though, but must tell you their instances should be checked. What they go after now are internet fraudsters and tracking of stolen mobile phones. Go to the office in Abeokuta and investigate why some people are detained there. We got this tweet from Uleshi Olanre. Federal government should reduce the power given to SARS because the way they are acting in the society is not encouraging at all. So just don't even act the way SARS operates in the society. Only SARS should be reformed. I don't support end SARS, but federal government should do more. Another tweet came from James Ajibade, Mr. Dilly. Okay, we don't have Mr. Dilly in the studio actually. People take to social media because following the right channel is like reporting a witch to her mother. Little or nothing will come out of it. And we got this from Chimex. If the capacity... Alright, I'm sorry, I lost that. Okay, if the capacity of regular police cannot deal with armed robbers, so what are they doing there? Make it that they dare to complicate matters. Okay, I won't be able to take part of your report and part of your message, Chimex, but I'm going to skip that part. Before Nigeria will be auctioned on OLX, Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, I have been using the platform of Open Day to highlight the excesses of the men of SARS and warned of a coming street fight between policemen and youth. NSARS is just a genteel version of what I envisioned. And this one came from Yemi Da Vinci. I'm 100% in support of the NSARS campaign. The evil that SARS perpetrate far outweigh whatever good that they may be bringing. Governor Wike said that SARS is responsible for armed robbery and kidnapping in River State, and I 100% believe him. These men have gone beyond protecting and are merciless. We fear SARS harassment more than armed robbers. We got a tweet from main man Moshood. Okay, which youth council? Adeleke Adebajo is what? All right. That question you alone, I won't be able to, to answer that question for you. Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, when people say scrapping SARS will increase armed robbery case, I asked them somebody who arrests and beat you up and then frame you and ask you to bring money to build yourself. Is that one not armed robber? Moving away from that to another tweet by Yemi Da Vinci. Let it be known to the IGP that all that cosmetic reform will not work. The anger from legitimate people with legal resources or with legal sources of income being harassed by SARS is so big, scrapping it is the only way. Akorede Camille tweeted, I support the people who raised NSARS and NSARS brutality because their excesses is becoming unbearable, but I think reform SARS will be the better way to go about it. Lanre Adeyemi also tweeted, public made SARS what they are today, even with very little issues between two friends. We report to them. Somebody is owing me money, I must bring in SARS. Nigerian police just need to restructure the outfits and let them focus on foiling robberies. Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, it is shameful when some elders say beating up of youth and smashing of their phones and heads is justified because we do not dress to their moral code. I pray that the children fall victim of SARS when SARS is breaking NMA ID card and frame doctors. Olatunde Kenny orientation settings, tweeted, okay, to Dr. Nkam, a friend of mine was arrested by SARS for being in possession of condom in his wallet. He was accused of being a potential rapist. Please, was he a criminal for having a condom in possession? Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, I ask anybody who says the anger against SARS is not justified to tell me what doctors, lawyers, Simi Donjazi, and all those who have posted videos and shared their own excesses to prove this. People are criminals. Some elders should listen to our grievance. Oluwaseyi Emmanuel O tweeted, it is a very good campaign which should be sustained. The way of dressing is very bad, looking like criminals, and they're also drug addicts because you will meet them at Paraga joint. Those alcoholic joints are always beside their stations. Very bad and appalling. Another tweet came from Yemi Da Vinci. You come on air and say youth are too timid. We are talking about brutality against upright youth and extortion now. You label us criminals. On behalf of all youth in Nigeria, okay, I demand an apology from Dr. Unkam. Akurede Camille tweeted, Dr. Unkam talked about people not dressing well. I don't think he has seen these SARS operatives when chasing young guys around on bikes. Many of them are guilty of what they chase people around for. They themselves look like armed robbers. And we got this from Da Vinci. Scrap SARS. Those people are beyond redemption. They should all be charged for criminal endangerment, harassment, illegal arrest, kidnapping, and murder. All of them. Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, still, I asked the comrade in the studio how many Yahoo boys have been charged by SARS or handed over to the EFCC for prosecution. They're using that as a lie for their nefarious activities. Ogunwale Kolawole tweeted, when a tattoo carrying SARS operative stops an innocent person for tattoo and looking fresh, what kind of reform do that person need? SARS is just a bunch of untrained gun-wielding touts in police coffers. And we got this one from Yemi Emmanuel. Oh, we don't even know the criteria for appointing an IG because under this current IG, the police has become or have become worse, and they're becoming worse every day. The current rate as worst police force in the world is very correct. This current IG should be sick if the police, or should be sacked if the police would be better at all. And this came from Akurede Camille. SARS operatives should be reformed and the rules should be clearly defined. It's not their duty to chase suspected Yahoo boys by law. That should be left to EFCC. Yemi Da Vinci also tweeted, over 100,000 youth have been given witness to the gory nature of SARS and you call us all criminals. Okay, speak about your own offspring, please. Olatunde Kenny or orientation settings tweeted, once you are a youth and you are fortunate to have a car, then you need to stop or start worshipping SARS. Ogunwale Kolawole also tweeted, and he says, SARS entered my house in Ota to arrest a boy for fighting his friends, and he was swept away in handcuffs but was released when the boy's father, who was the top police officer, started calling and became interested in the case. Scrap is the way. Akurede Camille tweeted again, is it a crime to ride a good car? Why will I be afraid to carry about my laptop because I don't want to be arrested by SARS? The operational conduct is what annoys people. Ogwale Kolawole tweeted, how many petitions have been swept under the carpet of offices in Nigeria? Social media is the easy way to air views and express views, opinions easily. And another tweet came from Leo Leshi Olanri. SARS beat hell out of my friend because he didn't give them the password of his phone. They even collected 15,000 naira from him to bail. And we got this one from Ogunwale Kolawole. Can I force you to give me your ATM password or your phone lock pattern? But one gun wielding and trigger happy guys do that with impunity. What happens to my right of privacy and life? Alright, those are the tweets we have. You still can tweet at Rock City FM.
Alright, that's a whole lot of messages, more experiences, personal experiences being shared there. Would you say that these are all criminals?
No, that's why I said Dr. Unkom, when he made his submission, it was so, how will I put it, not something that the youth will want to, because I don't want to believe in what he has just said, that if you are going your way, they won't. Maybe he doesn't have the experience, or maybe perhaps he's not in tune with what's actually happening. You can see from all the complaints, it shows that there's something fundamentally wrong about SARS. We need to get that clear. Fundamentally wrong about SARS. See, let's call a spade a spade. The truth is that sometimes you don't differentiate between SARS and armed robbery. because the mode of operandi of both of them is similar. So what I'm saying that how these people that are complaining, they are genuine complaining. Of course, which the police hierarchy needs to look into it critically. The only area I'm just is that I don't believe scrapping it will now be the solution. That's just my own point. But totally what they are doing is an absurd. It doesn't, in fact, you can't, sometimes when you hear, you won't believe it's a policeman that has just done such thing. You won't believe. Now the way they operate, you'll be surprised. At least I told you I've been to Magbon and I know the way they operate in Magbon. So what we're saying that genuinely these SARS are only using their power because they have gun. You know, when you have gun, and because they are legitimate to carry that gun. That is the difference between them and armed robber. They are legitimate to carry the gun, so they are using it on poor masses, poor youth. So what we're saying that it is high time they check these people. It's high time, because you can see everybody is complaining seriously, bitterly, and everybody that has one issue or the other with SARS will continue to complain. So what we're saying that they must reform SARS. But personally, I don't believe they should scrap them, because scrapping it will not be the solution. Because if you scrap it, do you ever think of what will happen again? And again, what I want people to realize that these people are also within the society. This society, in fact, is so personalized that, you know, within it, even if you want to recruit, you still get to recruit within us. You'll be surprised that those people that are recruited, even don't be surprised, armed robber will also apply. It will also be, so you also have influence among others. So for me, they should radical transformation or cleaning of SARS should be carried out. Not the one IG just roll out and said a commissioner should just no. That must be radical. But with at the same time, why I don't blame those people who have started this end, because if they don't start with that, it won't gather this momentum. Yes, the needed attention of what we are getting. Yes. Now, but let's sustain it. But at the end of the day, it's not for us to scrap it, but for us to reform.
All right, let's go back to the calls. 0809-868-7344.
Good morning, Aghemerio.
Good morning.
What is the meaning of SARS? This debate is a serious issue that the IGP must investigate for the interest of the masses, because it is the common man that suffer. Anybody they see with laptop is a Yahoo guy, or if you are with a clean car. My heart is bleeding because I'm one of the victims who have suffered in one of these terrorists. No matter the excesses, the government should not scrap it, but put SARS under check, because they are effective in preventing crimes in our society. Reverend Orekoya sent that message. IK for me for once again says, I don't know why. Okay, IK. Don't worry, Dr. Nkom has the right to his own opinion. You don't have to insult his opinion, as you also have the right to your own opinion too. With due respect to Honorable Commissioner of Police, the attitude of SARS generally to Nigerians becomes unbearable. Their dressing is like civilians carrying gun, no name, no number on their t-shirts. SARS and know all the Yahoo boys, and they are collecting money from them. If you witness how SARS embarrassed innocent citizens, you will weep. They should be refined and reformed with easy identification, name and number on their uniform. It should be limited to police vehicles only, not to arrest vehicles and use such vehicle to work. Abiodun from Abeokuta sent in that. Nigeria is a country guided by law. Luckily, the IG has promised to restructure SARS better. It's a misrepresentation of fact that people who are complaining about the excesses of SARS are miscreants and misfeeds. We should mind our language. Majority of Nigerians are complaining. Aghemerio sent in that. Nigeria is a okay. Aghemerio sent that message twice. Any tweets, Aghemerio?
Yes, we still have some tweets here. Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, and here he says that SARS will ask me to bring receipts for laptops, phones, etc. Mr. SARS, where is your gun receipt? And we got this from James Ajibade. Please, can you tell the Constitution that dictates how we should dress? Okay, Dr. Nkom is being economical with the truth. And okay, this are the tweet there. This are the tweet we got here.
All right, your further reaction, Comrade Adebajo.
Thank you very much. Really interesting. Seriously speaking, I think the police command has gotten it what the general view about SARS is. And the general view, let's be honest, I'm saying it boldly, that is the true position. Now, SARS needs to be restructured, reform, not just commissioners should just head the command, no. Serious one. They need to take a holistic attempt to do it, because the way they operate does not conform with the law. In fact, even if they have a special law, it doesn't see yet above the normal Nigerian constitution. So they should know that they should operate within the ambit of the law. So they should take a drastic action about it. And for me, that one has to be done. And all the complaints, I just have to appeal to them, because if you have witnesses, you sympathize with them. But notwithstanding, I think scrapping SARS will not be the right thing to do. Don't let us throw away the bill with the bad number.
All right, thank you so much for coming to our studio, Comrade Prince Adeleke Adebajo, State Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Ogun State Chapter. We appreciate your contributions this morning.
Thank you very
And
much.
we sincerely want to appreciate all of you who called, those who sent messages, those who tweeted on our social media, and those who just listened to the show and enjoyed it. And we want to apologize to those who were not able to get through because of the traffic on the line. Sometimes there is nothing we can also do here at our end. But we urge you to continue to keep faith with us, continue listening to 101.9 FM. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I am Tobi Joseph.
I am Aghemerio, Oaikhenan.